Borderlands 4 is right around the corner. It's actually tomorrow, and the question still remains, who will you pick? If you haven't decided yet, don't worry, I got you. Today, I'll be briefly touching on their traits, their action skills, their playstyles, and a tad on their lore to possibly help you pick. Before we hop in, I just want to say welcome to the channel and don't forget to subscribe for some chaotic playthroughs and a bit of some build guides as well. First up, meet Amon, the ForgeKnight. Raised in a vault monster cult because that's apparently a thing, he survived when the beast turned on the entire cult. Now he's on a revenge mission, which I think by now is a hobby. With his weaponized drones and versatile forge skills, Amon is the ultimate tank. Whether you're soaking up damage or dishing it out, he got you covered. Being a juggernaut, his body literally manifests weapons, hammers, swords, even axes. But don't let that murder spree fool you. Amon is also a warrior poet. Think Thor, but of Thor journals.
Forgive me. I'd forgotten the joy of a shared fire beneath a brilliant night sky among kindred spirits and friends. The moment carried me away.
Fun fact, Amon was actually projected to be the weakest of the Vault Hunters. And also his favorite ice cream is pistachios. Okay, so we'll be talking about their trait next, and Amon's trait is called Forge Skill. Amon gains Forge Skill based on which action skill he has equipped. I'll be talking about the action skill shortly, so what I'll do is I'll pair the Forge skill with the action skill to make it easier. Now his first action skill is, if you like it, up close and personal, Onslaughter, out of the Calamity skill tree. Amon overloads his Forge Fist, gaining constant shield regeneration, bonus incendiary damage with guns, and increased movement speed. Now with this skill activated, Amon is able to use the Forge skill Molten Slam. He slams a Molten Forge Hammer into the ground, dealing incendiary melee damage to enemies in a large area. Next up, we have Scourge from the Vengeance skill tree. If you're looking to play tank or even a support build, this would be an option for you. Amon equips a Forge Shield that absorbs all frontal damage as Vengeance. Whenever the Vengeance meter is filled, Forge Shield provides damage reduction instead. Now with this skill activated, Amon is able to access the Forge skill Firewall. He creates a firewall that absorbs enemy projectiles and grants friendly projectiles that pass through it increased damage and projectile speed. And the last action skill, Crucible, from the Cybernetic skill tree. This basically turns you into Olaf from League of Legends. Amon readies Forge Axes that can thrown and picked up off the ground to refund cooldown. You can throw Flame Axes dealing incendiary melee damage, or Frost Axes dealing cryo melee damages as well. With this skill active, Amon is able to use the Forge skill Double Edge. Amon throws a Twin Forge Axe dealing cryo melee damage to enemies it passes through, and on the way back, it does incendiary damage as well. Now meet Rafa, the Exo-Soldier. Ex-Theodore muscles with a high-tech twist. He wears an exo-suit that conjures weapons on the fly. Need dual knives? Done. Shoulder cannon? Easy. Lasers? Yes. Want to feel like Iron Man but sassier? Rafa is your guy. Rafa's weapon summoning is so slick, he's basically a walk-in loot box. He's all about agility and improvisions. Slash 1 second, blast the next. Now Rafa's trait is called Overdrive. When Rafa activates an action skill, he enters overdrives while an action skill is active. Overdrive duration does not decrease. Yep, Rafa is basically Iron Man in the 80s. Rafa gains increased movement speed and deals increased damage with all sources. Now let's talk about his first action skill, Apophis Lance, from the People Person skill tree. Rafa equips Apophis Lance, an offhand arm cannon that decreases Rafa's gun handling but allows him to fire piercing shock ordnance blasts. Any unused charges when Apophis Lance ends are converted into action skill cooldown. Congratulations, that's your first step to becoming Iron Man. Now this next action skill is called Peacebreaker Cannons from the Remote Agent skill tree. Rafa equipped shoulder-mounted Peacebreaker cannons, which fired enemies in front of him for a duration. So basically, those cannons you see on Iron Man's shoulders. And finally, for his action skill, arc knives, from this year's gimmick skill tree. Rafa puts down his guns and equips his arc knives, blades that deal melee damage and mark enemies whenever he hits them, causing them to take increased damage for every mark on them. You know the saying YOLO? Well, that doesn't work for Rafa. It's yoked. You only live twice. Now next up, let's talk about the queen of CC herself, the god of crowd control, Harlowe. Harlowe is a combat scientist with 5 PhDs. Yeah, 5. When she's not debating quantum mechanics at the parties, she's imploding enemies with gravity tech. And get this, Harlowe and her family off each other any chance they get. Talk about dysfunctional. Now Harlowe's trait is called entanglement. Whenever Harlowe uses one of her action skills on an enemy, those enemies become entangled. What does that mean? It means entangled enemies share portions of gun damage and skill damage with all other entangled enemies. Now, are you starting to see why she's called a crowd control queen? Yeah. Harlowe's first action skill is called Chroma Accelerator. Harlowe fires an energy pocket from her Chroma Accelerator, and the unstable energy pocket passes through enemies and deals cryo damage to all enemies it passes near. Talk about having a cold chill. Next up, 0 Point from Seize the Day skill tree. When this action skill is active, Harlowe uses her Halo Accelerator to place an enemy in a stasis for a duration of time. Enemy immune to stasis takes damage instead. Between her and Amon, the support class looking beautiful. Now don't get me wrong, Harlowe can push out some damage as well. Next up, we'll talk about her Flux Generator from the Cosmic Brilliance skill tree. Harlowe throws her Flux Generator in front of her, which projects an energy field, dealing cryo damage over time and entangling enemies. Allies inside the energy field gain overshield. Now that's support. Last but surely not least, my day one main one, and the new Siren to Borderlands, Miss Chaos Queen herself, Vex. Siren. Vex's powers actually manifested during one of her shifts at a retail store. There was a flash sale and her stress level got way too high. I kinda don't blame her though. Vex's hunter trait is called Phase Covenant. Vex is attuned to the elemental type of her current gun, converting all action skills and melee damage into that type. Thank you, 2K. The first of Vex's action skill is called Dead Ringer from the 4th Seal skill tree. This is a charged skill, and upon use, you can spawn a Phase Clone minion, choosing between a Spectre or a Reaper. Phase Clone loses health over time, and their damage type matches Vex's current attunement when spawned. After that, we have Incarnate from the Vexillation skill tree. Vex creates a phase explosion, dealing damage to nearby enemies and fully restoring her health. While active, Vex can use Eldritch Blast and gains increased movement speed. Now the Eldritch Blast is more like a Necromancer Blast. Pretty cool, huh? And to wrap things up, her last action skill, Phase Familiar from the Here Comes Trouble skill tree. Vex is joined by a minion, Trouble. When killed, Trouble will respawn after a cooldown. You can also use Trouble to teleport, dealing damage in areas, and even transform into a badass, fully restoring health and gaining increased damage for a duration of time. And just a quick fun fact, Trouble was actually named after one of the developers' cat. That's pretty cool. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. I just speed dated all 4 Vault Hunters for you, hoping that this could help you make your decision on who to play. But here's my lightning round. You're a solo learner, adaptable player, swap elements on the fly, pets for aggros, great sustain. That's Vex. Movement demons, remote agent plays, knives and chains, keeping the fight dynamic. That's Rafa. You want to control the crowd, crit farmer, entanglement, overshield, ricochet. The team would love you. That's Harlowe. Bash, slam, or turtle up with cybernetics as needed. Aggressive bruisers who like to be up close and in the mix. Amon. Alright, and that is it. So which Vault Hunter are you starting with? Drop a comment, hashtag Team Vex, Team Rafa, Team Harlowe, or Team Amon, and let me know. Wait, hold up. If this helps, remember to like the video, smash the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you can be up to date when I drop new content. I'm out.